It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast, the drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast. All right, everybody, welcome to a red hot episode of the Odd Drunk Podcast.
Yes.
A hot, fresh, steaming bowl of review for none other than the Book of Boba Fett. This is hot and fresh. The episode just came out on Wednesday, and we had another thing planned. In fact, we had an entirely different episode planned to release this week, but we're pushing that back.
Yeah,
because after these last few episodes of Boba Fett, the show,
we want to get this
Boba Fett and Friends
review out for y'all real quickly because we know
got to talk about
that,
it.
You know, every time a Star Wars thing happens, everyone thinks, I can't wait to hear what Jackson and Colton have to think about it.
Yeah. Even though we only talked about Star Wars once on this podcast, and that wasn't really anything. I think the last Star Wars thing we tried to talk about, well, I wasn't there, but it was supposed to be on the sequel trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just ended up being you and Tristan just fanboying over the prequels and just like kind of going on the tangent.
Yeah. And it ended with me suggesting that Keanu Reeves should reprise his role as John Wick in a Star Wars movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it should just
remember that.
It should just be a John Wick movie, but with stormtroopers.
I remember listening to that commentary just to see, okay, what are they up to with Star Wars? And yeah, I got to the John Wick discussion. I can't remember what that episode is, but it's the only other Star Wars one we do. So if you want more Star Wars action that gets into John Wick talk.
Yeah, I don't remember what else we talked about on that. We did something. We did something for Star Wars on May the 4th, though. Was that episode?
I think so.
All right. I don't know.
I think the only Star Wars thing we did was like maybe we covered a little bit of Star Wars news, and that's about it.
Maybe.
But anyways, this is very special to me because this is our first Star Wars show or movie that we're covering.
Yeah.
Not just the concept and not just John Wick in it.
Yeah.
John Wick in it.
We're giving Star Wars our Marvel treatment.
Although Keanu Reeves would be a great Darth Revan.
Yeah, you know what else he would be good as? John Wick.
Yeah.
A Star Wars story.
He would be good as that.
What if John Wick 4 was John Wick, a Star Wars story?
It's a time travel movie initially.
Yeah.
The Russians have a time machine. Yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. John Wick kills some guys. There's a pencil.
Yeah, the John Wick 4 can end with he gets multiverse, portaled into another universe, and then he shows up and he shows up and there's like Star Wars stuff, and it turns out John Wick is Revan.
You could do that, but I also like the idea of John Wick showing up, let's say, maybe A New Hope with the Ewoks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's not New Hope. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And he just has a human gun.
Yeah, I like
he just has a Glock.
I just like the idea of that, yeah. I'm imagining maybe, John Wick shows up in the Star Wars universe and, he realizes he can't get back. So he's like, oh, I can finally retire from being an assassin. And he adopts like a porg. And then some gangsters kill the porg.
The Pikes.
And then John Wick movie.
Yeah. Great.
And yes, just a Glock.
Yeah.
And a shotgun.
And he's not taking out the Empire or anything like that. No. It's like a crime syndicate of what's those weird guys that play in the band? Maybe the band. Max
well, there's Max Rebo, but there's also Figure and Dan in the modal nodes.
Maybe someone from Max Rebo's band shot his porg.
Oh shoot, yeah.
So he's just
And
killing
then
all
it's-
these puppets and
and
innocent-looking creatures.
Just a bunch of
Shotgun.
I mean, on that note, I would also really like to see Keanu Reeves star in an action movie where all the extras are Muppets. That would be fun too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should just start having fun with the idea of John Wick in other genres and
Yeah.
movies.
Another media shows. Put them in Sex and the City. Or I don't care.
Or if they finally did that Office revival everyone wants, the last 20 minutes can be John Wick. just well, not killing all the characters of The Office, but just like John Wick.
I feel like him and Creed would have something going on.
Yeah. Maybe John Wick
And he would shoot Dwight in the
teams up
kneecap.
with Agent Michael Scorn.
Yes. Yes. But he would shoot Dwight in the kneecap. You see that coming.
Yeah. And then Dwight would be like, that was actually a very tactical, like smart shot you made.
Even though he's in pain.
Yeah.
But anyways, some may say the John Wick of Star Wars is actor Keanu Reeves, but I say the John Wick of Star Wars is Boba Fett. He's always been.
Yeah.
The cool guy in the background, mysterious guy, and then something happens to him, and he goes on this big quest.
Yeah, and I know Mandalorian's kind of stole the spotlight
also
a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Boba Fett, Tamora Morrison he can be scary when he wants.
No, I love him as Boba Fett. Although I do admire the original actor, the original voice for Boba Fett, because that's before they had the clone idea and everything. So he could just be anybody.
Yeah.
And in the holiday special, which we did think about doing for Christmas.
Yep.
Glad we didn't, but maybe one day.
I still have it on my computer.
But
George Lucas, now that they know, everyone knows I have a copy on my computer. George Lucas is probably going to kick down my door and like smash my computer.
Yeah. But yeah, Boba Fett actually first appeared in the holiday special.
Yeah.
And what's funny, he's riding like a dinosaur. Mythosaur? That's not a mythosaur. I don't think that was a thing yet.
I don't remember.
But he was definitely riding a dinosaur, but he also very much looked like how Mando looks. With like the
he has
silver
a
helmet and like
the rifle.
yeah, like the prong rifle, which is really interesting. And I know they were inspired by but yeah, the Book of Boba Fett just finished season finale, and I want to get in. Oh yeah, we can post some. That'd be a great picture to post.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's not a mythosaur. It's a weird.
But they had to get the mythosaur idea from that, or
Long-necked
partially, right?
alien dinosaur.
We've never
thing.
seen a mythosaur in canon, right?
No. Just in Legends.
It's always just talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
But he does end up. Okay, wait, I gotta stop myself. This is gonna be a spoiler review. But what we will do, we will give just a general, non-spoiler review. So I want to hear, what do you think of the show as a whole?
I think it had a really slow start. Like it didn't pick up until like the 4th episode.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it did not. That is true.
But like the last.
But I did forget
episodes.
about something crucial.
Oh yeah.
What are we drinking today? You have
I-
something familiar.
Yeah, it's Senor Pina, from Cerveceria Colorado. Is that what they're? And it's a pineapple blonde ale.
Yeah, I've had that, and I've had Venga before. Or Benga.
Yeah, that's a better one. This is, I
That's
think,
how you pronounce
this is good, but I don't know. It's not as sweet as you'd expect it to be.
Mmm.
But it's pretty good.
I like the design. It's very festive, very Cinco de Mayo, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I was at the store trying to think of what Boba Fett would drink, and I was thinking like Boba Fett might drink whiskey, or like a really strong IPA that one of those fuck you IPAs. But then I thought, actually, no, he probably only drinks that when he wants to look cool. When he's by himself, he probably drinks like margaritas, maybe Coronas with a lime. Yeah.
Yeah. On the
So,
beach.
He's probably. So,
He's got his beach.
So I thought I'd get this festive looking pineapple.
His beach
beer.
armor variant.
Yeah.
It's just him and his helmet and a Speedo.
The real question is,
Maybe jetpack.
would the Speedo be red, green, or yellow? Because those are the colors on his armor.
White with red hearts.
Ah.
Nothing to do with his armor.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining Tamora Morrison in a Speedo.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun thing to imagine.
And maybe Mando's out surfing.
Yeah.
But I am drinking, I got some wine here, some red wine. And it is, what kind of, it's a unique wine. But it's called Chami, or Chami, from Western Cape, South Africa, 2020. South Africa, friends are often, and this is from the bottle, and I like the design here too.
Oh yeah,
this tribal.
That is a cool design.
But and I'll explain later. In South Africa, friends are often referred to as Chamis. Wise beyond its years, the Chami is an old soul. Complex notes as cranberry, strawberry, tart cherry, and violet. Cape Town street artist Anwar Davids, I said Davids, Anwar Davids designed this label as an expression of the old soul Chami. And, it doesn't really, is it a sin salt? I don't know. I've never had this kind of wine.
I every once in a while
I really enjoy it.
Every once in a while I come across a bottle of wine where it's a type of wine. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
It's got some sweetness to it, but it's still dry at the end. It's still
I bought like a Greek wine a while back, and I never heard of the type of wine, but it's like a type of wine.
But yeah, it's basically if you got like a Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc or like a Merlot, and then put a little sangria notes in there.
Ooh, yum.
So it's got those fruity notes, but it still tastes like a rich, deep wine. I've been drinking for a little bit.
Boba Fett probably drinks sangria too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Really strong sangria.
And I've also got more of the Bumbu rum or Bumbu rum from Barbados. That nice sweet rum, almost liqueur, but still rum.
Yeah, it's
and
good stuff.
The remains of a wine you've lended to me, the sweet berry wine.
Yep, and
it's got this fellow on it. Don't know who.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't figure out what type of wine it was.
But it's 2018 red wine, and it's from California. Wow, of course.
Yeah.
No, but I've been drinking a lot more wine lately because I got this cool wine subscription, $30 for 4 bottles.
Nice.
And wine subscription mailing company. If you want me to mention your name, sponsor us. Then I'll mention you.
Yeah, you don't get that shout out until you send us some free wine.
Yeah, free wine would be nice. But no, I do a quiz and they cater to your palate, your flavors. They ask you if you like chocolate and whatever.
Yeah,
and fruits.
I've thought about looking
and
into
do you like red wine or white wine? And I like red wine. So
yeah, there's a website that it's a fairly new website that you can order liquor on, which is great. I learned about it on How to Drink.
We could get a lot more unique drinks that way.
We could
that aren't available to us locally, so that might be a good thing to consider. But yeah. I figure I've been having a lot of beer lately, so
I have
just
to
go with the wine.
I have to.
But anyways, back to the Book of Boba Fett. It's not really a book, is it, Colton?
No, it's actually a TV show.
And I never see him writing in a book.
No, I'm not sure he knows how to read.
Unless
I assume he does.
I've been watching some Star Wars. I've been watching some Star Wars theory videos lately. And I know there's this whole theory that the Book of the Wills is actually basically like the story for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that the Force is basically plot armor that the writers put in. So, calling it Book of Boba Fett, maybe that's just a particular part of the Book of the Wills that we were just watching an adaptation of.
Yeah, I don't know. I never caught on to exactly why it's called Book of Boba Fett. I know why it's called, why it has Boba Fett in the name.
Yeah, he's in it a little bit.
I understood that part. The book part is what I don't get.
But yeah, before we get into anything substantial, what do you think? I mean, I know you were going on earlier.
Yeah, I think it starts out slow. Not bad. I think some of the things that a lot of Star Wars fans were freaking out about and complaining about, I think people were being a little dramatic.
No, yeah,
but
when
it was slow.
Yeah, when I watched that one episode they talked about with the cyber
the cyberpunk people. Yeah.
I was like, whatever. They're not even main
and they
characters.
Didn't include Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand.
True. Well, I don't know if I'm bring up that game. but yeah, I mean, but those last few episodes, those last couple episodes, those are pure Star Wars.
It's starting on episode
4,
about
5
4,
especially.
4 it starts to pick up, but episode 5,
6,
6, yeah.
It just becomes Star Wars galore.
Well, it's
the most they basically were let's get the most Star Wars and jam it into these episodes.
Those episodes just felt like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni just had a bunch of action figures and we're just playing with them. Yeah. Like a kid plays with Star Wars action figures.
It felt so good,
and then that's how they wrote the script.
Not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Not saying it seems like it's just kids playing with action figures.
Fun.
But it's just so fun, so Star Wars, all these different characters that you didn't think would interact and so on. And I think it starts slow. Especially if the beginning plot, which I do admire and I see its relevance.
I like parts of the early episodes,
but I kind of stopped watching it after episode 2, and because I didn't have much time to be watching shows.
Yeah,
but I gave it another try, and once episode 5 came out, because I saw some spoilers for that, I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this because there's a thing in that episode. Yeah, that's really cool. Really rad.
Yeah, there was a few things in that episode.
But, oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it started out a bit slow, but I think some of the complaints that I've seen from a lot of fans, I think they're big overreactions.
Yeah, and people are being dramatic. They're just
overreactions. Some of them are nitpicky. Yeah. Some of them are just... Oh, God. It's basically the best way to explain it is Star Wars fans wanting a particular thing to happen that doesn't happen, and then they go up in arms.
Yeah, it's
even though an equally good thing happens.
It's people were getting upset, and then I watched the episode, and
I know,
and I'm just I see why people are upset, but I think they're overreacting. I think it's not that big of a deal. I don't hate it. I did like the early episodes. They were just slow.
As far as Star Wars stuff goes, and we'll probably do a ranking at some point, but don't count on it anytime soon. But because we gotta wait for Obi-Wan Kenobi to come out. We gotta wait for Ahsoka. But
May.
I feel like as far as Star Wars stuff goes, especially the TV shows, I would put it a tiny bit below Mandalorian season 1, but far below Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah,
but it's still those last couple episodes. Those are the best Star Wars that ever. Star Wars,
good solid episodes.
Yeah. If it's just the show as a whole, which we're evaluating, not just a couple episodes. It was a little lacking in parts, but it had a great payoff.
Yeah.
So really. Especially those last couple episodes, I could rewatch those and just have such a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we liked it, and we can start getting into the complaints and start talking about that. We can start talking about theories. So, any other things you want to say that's non-spoiler?
Because
it's really hard.
No. No, there's nothing else I really have to say. That's non-spoiler.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler section.
Yep.
You know the risk of going on the internet or listening to podcasts or whatever when you're trying to avoid spoilers. So here we go. I'm just going to start with a big one. Luke Skywalker is back in it.
Yep, and he's in it for more than a few minutes.
Yeah, and they deep faked his face, and it looks really good. It shows. Like,
Yeah.
it. There's some shots, especially with the lighting, where he legit looks like he was pulled from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And the voice is really good. I think they got Mark Hamill to help.
I heard.
I don't know exactly, but
I
was
also heard they
credited.
might have got like an AI to like do his voice.
It sounded a bit like. Well, I will say it sounded when Luke's talking to like Ahsoka.
Slightly artificial.
It felt like
Not in a bad way, but like it just felt like very
felt like
almost too good.
Felt like a video game voice.
Like it sounded
Like-
so much like young Mark Hamill. You question if old Mark Hamill could do that,
Yeah, it just sounded.
which he is a talented voice actor.
Yeah,
So he probably could.
yeah. I would like to see, them have Luke Skywalker just talk like the Joker.
They
That'd be fun.
could have done that with Last Jedi at least. You know?
Yeah.
Ugh. God. Anyways, yeah, he's in it, and we'll get into the details in a second, but he's in it, and it's good. Boba Fett stuff. The first couple episodes, it starts out, he escapes the Sarlacc pit. The Jawas steal his armor.
Yeah.
And then he's captured by the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People. But he becomes part of their tribe.
Yeah,
essentially.
he wins their respect and
Yeah.
becomes
like battle,
one of
and
them.
like he knows how to use the, what is it called?
the stick.
Gaffy stick? Or,
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
yeah, he learns like their ways, and he basically throughout that he learns like the importance of having a tribe, having like people you can depend on.
Yeah, and he
having
probably
respect
lived with them for a while, for
a
like,
few years at least. Yeah, it's
Um,
implied. Yeah, because the Mandalorian season 1 takes place 5 years after Return of Jedi,
mhm.
but this could be like 6 or 7 years, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he's with the tribe until Mandalorian season 2.
5 or
Yeah.
6 years. So
Yeah.
but still, that's a long enough time for him to develop a character. And one of the early criticisms that some the true fans, I guess, that they had for the show is that Boba Fett had his helmet off too much, was talking too much. And
No.
honestly, I don't mind it because
I get it, but
I like seeing Tamora Morrison,
I want to see Tamora Morrison. Yeah,
and
he's a fun actor.
also he's a character now, not just a cool guy in
Yeah.
the background that gets
accidentally knocked into the Sarlacc pit by a blind Han
Han
Solo.
Solo, and he's drunk.
Yeah.
Well, Boba Fett's drunk. Yeah. But as we all learned in Mandalorian season 2, his armor and helmet, I guess, are the same as Jango's. The same, just repainted.
Yeah, I thought that retconned something from the Clone Wars.
No, they retconned a few things in these new shows, but we got to remember, guys,
Yeah.
the live action stuff, the movies and the live action shows always take precedent over
Yeah.
comics and
And the animated
stuff. It always does. Because, and honestly, this might be controversial, I'm kind of glad because it can better serve the story they're trying to tell.
Yeah, I mean,
Because if
people get all up in arms about like legends,
if
and,
something already happened in the comics or something already happened in the animated series that weakens the live action series, if they bring something up again or retcon to make it fit the story.
yeah,
Plus, George
I'm okay with
Lucas
that.
has been changing Star Wars since it came out.
Apparently, like, because people complain about like legends and canon. Apparently, George Lucas considered none of the extended universe canon. To him, it was only the movies.
But they're bringing extended universe stuff into the shows and movies now,
yeah,
especially shows.
yeah, slowly, yeah, they're bringing that stuff in.
That last episode brings a couple things in, and also, well, actually, the first episode
Mhm.
with Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah,
He's a Wookiee. He's from the comics. He's a Wookiee bounty hunter. and he's really cool and intimidating. And he ends up trying to kill Boba Fett at one point in
Yeah.
the show, like while he's in this Bacta tank.
I think that was a good episode because that happens, I think, in the third episode where he. Tries to kill him. I think the third episode is where it starts to pick up. The first two episodes were really slow.
Because the first two is like him having a bunch of flashbacks to flashbacks to living with the Sand People.
Yeah, the first two episodes are just. I mean, I think it would have been better if the first episode was all just him living with the Sand People, and then the second episode was the setting up for the third episode.
Yeah,
that would have been paced better if they did it that way. It just felt like the first two episodes were really dragged out.
Yeah, and all like the Vision Quest stuff he was going through, which is cool.
But there's some cool stuff in the first few episodes. I like when...
But they were developing Boba Fett into a character.
Yeah.
Finally. I mean...
Yeah, and also he was injured for the first few episodes.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, well, because even though his armor protected him, he still had a lot of acid damage, like where the armor wasn't on him.
Yeah.
And so on. And like that's why he lost his hair and everything. But I feel like Boba Fett's always been one of my favorite characters, especially as a kid, because he looked cool. Mm-hmm. He had a cool voice.
Yeah.
He had a cool gun. He had a jetpack. But then also, he wasn't really that good of a bounty hunter.
No.
Or anything.
Most of Boba Fett's
in the original trilogy.
Most of Boba Fett's being a badass bounty hunter came from extended material.
Yeah. But if you just go by original trilogy, he gets Han Solo and he presumably kills Luke's adopted parents.
Yeah.
And
he only fires a gun a couple times in the original.
But
trilogy.
Besides that, he looks cool. And then Han Solo,
yeah, it's pretty much
his jetpack and he goes flying to a Starlight Pit.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker defeats him in 2.3 seconds.
I did I think it's in episode 3 when him and Fennec go to get his ship back.
No, that's when it really starts picking up. That's
part.
A good moment.
And they go to kill the Sarlacc pits.
Yeah, I love how he specifically goes to Starlight Pit.
And I got pretty excited when she presses the button and the bomb
drops the seismic charge.
Yeah, seismic charge falls out and makes the sound.
And I love how Boba Fett kills the Sarlacc Pit.
And then I just like how he's like, "Don't touch my buttons." After that.
And it's got some humor in it, but I don't think it ever goes too far. I think it's good they're making him a character, giving him personality into more and more. So you can tell he's having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And
but I do like the whole concept of,
even though Boba Fett was just a cool looking character in the original trilogy that was underused, his whole look and everything established everything about Mandalorians. Essentially.
Yeah.
Even the emblem on the shoulder, which I know they didn't have a name for it back then.
That's the
mythosaur, and that's a huge part of Mandalorian lore.
Yeah.
That they came to Mandalore, and I think it was a different alien race.
Originally.
The Tongs.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Originally.
And they killed off and tamed the mythosaurs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But his look, the T-visor, the kind of, Spartan look, the armor, the jetpack, the gadgets, really everything about Star Wars bounty hunters is based off of Boba Fett too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's a really important character, especially when you look outside the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And I will say the first couple episodes, like the episode in Mandalorian where he finally gets his armor back and takes out all the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
And he takes out the drop ships and stuff, and he said he was aiming for the other one. And I love his interaction with Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching some stuff and how she says, "You're not a Mandalorian." He's like, "I'm not trying to be."
Yeah.
And then she
says,
"At
no point does he give a shit about being a Mandalorian."
No. That armor is just passed down.
He's like, "It's just my dad's armor."
Yeah. And Bo-Katan says she's heard the clones' voices 1,000 times before, and he says, "Well, this may be the last time you hear it."
Yeah.
I just love those lines. It's just great. And but he did kind of go soft and was just kind of chilling for a while in the first couple episodes.
A lot of people are complaining that he seemed weak, and
he was injured.
I think,
and he's also older.
I think my problem with how they did him just the first couple episodes, he doesn't seem like he's the brightest guy during some of the first few episodes.
He seems like a good strategist, but he doesn't seem like a good negotiator.
It's a little bit too much trust in other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there were a few good scenes though. The mods, the cyberpunk.
What did you think of that?
I don't have any problem with them.
Speeder chase, the slowest chase in Star Wars.
It was not a very great scene.
No,
but
but I don't have a problem with those characters.
The characters themselves, I have no problems with them.
I saw people.
Them, but
people were in an uproar over these characters.
They're like, this isn't Star Wars. I'm like, have you seen the prequels?
Yeah, and it's Star Wars.
They were saying it's too 50s bright colors and stuff, and I'm like, again, have you seen the prequels?
The prequels are
George
basically
Lucas was all about that shit.
Well, it was 1930s through 1950s sci-fi for the prequels.
Yeah. And also it's it makes sense that there would be another generation of people in this universe.
Yeah.
Doing their new things.
Yeah, exactly.
With their style and stuff. It makes the world make sense.
I had no problem with that. Yeah. It didn't bother me. There is something that bothered me, but that doesn't come till the finale.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe
something to do with a major character.
Maybe.
But so he gets his ship back, which is awesome, and he takes out the speed bikers and stuff that attacked his tribe.
That's another thing that people complained about, which I think is people are overreacting. Is they think it's in one scene Boba Fett seems just like he has dad energy, and then the next scene,
that really goes to Mando.
Ruthlessly gunning down these bikers.
Well, that is Boba Fett.
And I think people overreacted about that. I also like the scene where he goes to the bar. I think it's in the second episode.
Oh, he just shows up with his gaffy stick and stuff?
Yeah, and he just fucks the shit out of those bikers in the bar. And Tamora Morrison, again, I like seeing his face because he's very expressive.
Yeah, and I love his physicality.
Yeah, he's great.
No, I can honestly see why he didn't have the helmet on too much because he's just such an expressive actor.
Yeah.
And also, it's just cool seeing him again because he was Jango, he was also all the clones. I mean, they CGI'd it, but still.
Yeah.
The clones are all Tamora Morrison's.
Yeah.
So it's just cool seeing him again. And he's the original clone. Remember that, I think.
I don't know if he's specifically the original clone. I don't think they ever say that for sure. But he was one of the first ones, though. Because what it was is Jango.
Well, and he didn't have the age acceleration thing either.
Yeah, so, because that's what Jango wanted.
Chip. That was his, he wanted a son.
Yeah, that was the thing he wanted. An unaltered clone. So I think it's implied he's probably among the first batch.
The first batch, yeah.
But he doesn't have the age accelerant.
No, yeah,
and
because he would be long dead.
Personality suppressor.
He'd be long dead, and he would have killed even more Jedi, probably.
Yeah,
or end up dying. Which we all thought he died for 40 years. Mm-hmm. There's a particular death in this series where I'm like, don't worry about it. They can bring anyone back. It's Star Wars. Thought Darth Maul was dead, bring him back. Bionic legs. Thought Boba Fett was back, got out of Starlit Pit, which was always an extended universe stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's always...
We do have an official death for Darth Maul now.
That is true, but I'm talking about,
said that
in the movies.
That last one, where Obi-Wan finally...
No, Obi-Wan got him.
Finally
he got
him.
Then. Yeah,
that is the final...
Yeah, he got him.
Darth Maul, yeah.
Even though I would have loved to see that live action.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't be half surprised if they just redid that.
It wouldn't shock me either.
Or, yeah, because... like I said earlier, the live action stuff takes precedent over anything else.
And also,
but
I don't know how far into...
If they're bringing Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader and they're going to have a rematch, I don't think you really need the Darth Maul thing.
Yeah, I think that the Darth Maul thing, it takes place officially, right before A New Hope.
Oh, yeah, the Darth Maul encounter.
Within a year.
Yeah, that's old Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the series is going to take place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, so halfway between. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for that, yeah.
So episode Oh, and also Boba gets a pet Rancor, just like Jabba.
Yeah,
Because you got to do that if you're a crime lord.
Machete.
Yeah, Machete. Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I like
Sells
to
it
think
to
he's.
him.
I like to think that
It's
he
just him.
is just Machete.
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Machete is also
Like the multiverse of Machete.
Oh, kind of like how Machete is also in Spy Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Spy Kids takes place in the same universe as
Star Wars.
Machete.
And Machete takes place the same universe as Star Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like his ancestor.
Yeah.
Or it's just the same guy. But yeah, so Boba gets a Rancor, which will come up a little later. But anyways,
It's a baby Rancor.
episode 5, and this kind of brings up a little other criticisms, which I definitely agree with, but also I'm so satisfied with episode 5 and 6.
Yeah. Well, I think
That I
before
don't really
we get
care.
to 5 and 6,
Yeah.
we got to mention, so like episode 3, it starts to ramp up a little bit. Starts to show some action on all that. Boba Fett's finally like fully healed. And then they have the Mandalorian music play when they go.
And it hints at,
Oh, we need muscle.
yeah.
And then episode 4 is the turning point. But it's not really a Book of Boba Fett episode.
Episode 5. Or is that 4?
That's episode 4, because 5 and 6 are the last 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so episode 4 is the turning point of the show. And it's really just because
It's a Mandalorian
it's a
episode.
Mandalorian episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's completely focused
And
on him.
Shows Mandalorian, which we all love. And I love how we all still call him the Mando, even though we know his name, Din Djarin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, really, he has a Darksaber now, which kind of makes him like the Mando. He could roll over
He's
if he wanted to, he could roll over to Mandalorian.
he would have claim to being Mandalore.
He could claim, he could claim the throne, which
because Mandalore is the title of the leader of Mandalore.
I think in the next season of The Mandalorian, we'll either see him claim the throne or reject it. I think he'll reject it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be part of it, though.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Yeah. But yeah, he's Darksaber now, and Darksaber, and I love that action sequence.
Oh.
And when
he singes his own leg with the lightsaber.
but he slices this guy in half. Like,
yeah.
brutal lightsaber dismember it, just like the prequels. I love it.
Yeah, they wouldn't do
But
it
yeah,
in
and he
Fallen Order.
No, yeah. But he cuts his own leg, and it's because the Darksaber is, for him, it's super heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like grinding on the ground.
And I like that they did that because it's something they've established in the cartoons.
Yeah.
And in the expanded universe. But
wasn't that just a thing with lightsabers in general? Like, if you don't know how to...
if you don't know how to use it properly, if you don't have the proper training, it's really heavy, or at least seems so.
It's all the energy.
And I hear people all the time online, YouTube.
It's not like waving around a flashlight.
Yeah, people assume that white lightsabers are weightless, and I see people like YouTube videos they're talking about lightsabers, and they state it as a fact. Lightsabers are weightless.
No.
And I'm like, no, they've said that lightsabers are not weightless, and George Lucas in an interview,
it's like holding a fire hose or something.
Yeah, it's exactly the way I saw George Lucas describe it was that there's so much energy flowing through this thing that it actually takes a lot of strength to wield it.
But the whole idea with the Mandalorian is that his mind isn't focused. He doesn't have a clear mind.
Yeah.
So Darksaber.
He's trying to make the Darksaber. He's trying to control it when he should be, flowing with it.
Yeah. And he goes back to the Children of Death Watch, I presume. That's what they're called.
Yeah, the Children of the Watch.
Children of the Watch, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
And
then Jon Favreau fights him.
Is that Jon Favreau?
He did the voice, not
the voice,
not the actual
okay. I was
person
like,
on set. He did the voice I think.
He goes back to them, and he's training with Darksaber, and then one of the other Mandalorians, who is a Vizsla, which Tar Vizsla created the Darksaber thousands of years ago.
And then Pre Vizsla was the creator of Death Watch.
Yeah, and then this the heavy Mando guy is a Vizsla, and he challenges him to claim the Darksaber. And then, Mando ends up besting him, but then the armorer lady asks him if he has ever removed his helmet, and he has, and she says, you're no longer a Mandalorian, but also that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Because Bo-Katan's still a Mandalorian.
It's clear that the Children of the Watch...
But I love how he still takes it so seriously with them, even though he's seen other Mandos that don't abide by all those rules.
You wouldn't just change your idea of your beliefs,
like change your religious
yeah.
denomination. That's basically, it's like Jehovah Witness meets like Methodist.
It would be like if,
like casual Methodist Christian.
It'd be like if you met someone
like a Mormon
who was Mormon, and then you just told, and the Mormon thought this was like it was a really, really secluded Mormon, and they thought that not only is drinking bad, but only criminals drink. And then you met them and you went, well, no, actually, most people drink. They wouldn't immediately go, oh, well, then drinking is okay.
Yeah.
Like
also, but I've seen people talk about like how Mando had every right to just say like, shut the fuck up, I'm the boss now, because he has a Darksaber. He could have done that.
Yeah, he won it in battle and then defended his right to it
again
in a duel. Yeah, he had. You're right.
After being injured,
he had every right to just be like, "I'm the leader of this clan now."
Yeah,
I'm
the leader of Mandalore.
I get to decide who's Mandalorian, who's not. I do like, however, because Boba Fett doesn't try to even pretend he's Mandalorian. And
Boba's just a simple man making his way through the galaxy.
Yeah, but in the final episode, when they're about to do their standoff, and Mando's like, this is the way, I gave my word, and doing the whole Mandalorian thing, and Boba Fett's just like, okay, if you insist.
It's like, you really believe in that bantha?
Yeah, he's like, if you really want to, man.
But also he comes in the Beskar spear, and Armor says that's like, they got to get rid of that because that's like against like, it's a potential threat, because it could pierce Beskar armor.
Yeah, they say that Beskar, like traditionally, according to their beliefs,
it's for armor.
It's for armor only.
Even though the Darksaber, the hilt is Beskar.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, because he comments in the show, he's like, this is the finest Beskar craftsmanship I've ever seen.
That's cool.
So the hilt is Beskar. It's like, but I guess since the Darksaber is still a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Since that part isn't Beskar, it doesn't count as a weapon.
I suppose,
Beskar weapon.
It's just the hilt. Only the
just
hilt is Beskar.
Because Mandalorians have a ton of weapons embedded in their armor.
Yeah. No, armor can be a weapon.
That too, when it's indestructible, and it's very indestructible.
Yeah,
in the show,
it's the strongest material in Star Wars.
But it's like never been shown that way before. Not really.
Well, in the only live action example before The Mandalorian we had of a Beskar is
Jango
and Boba Fett, and that's something they retconned in season 2 of Mandalorian.
That it's the same
canon or old canon.
It was different armor.
Jango. Well, yeah, in old canon, Jango.
I don't even think Jango had Beskar in old canon.
Jango had Durasteel armor, I want to say, and then Boba Fett's armor was plastoid armor.
Yeah,
which is like stormtrooper armor.
A little better.
Yeah, a little bit better than not bad armor, but
but it's not like.
So that's something. I could be wrong. I could be mixing them up or something like that.
But now Boba has Beskar.
Yeah, they retconned it. Boba Fett's armor
and it's Jango's.
It's Jango's armor
and it's Beskar.
Yeah,
it's which I think is honestly good.
No, I like that change.
I think it was always confusing to me because I'm like, even the shape of the helmet is the same. Same mold, everything.
Yeah.
It's like, why couldn't he repainted it?
Yeah. No, because I think it's the reason everyone assumed it was Jango's armor until there was a Clone Wars episode where he tries to kill Mace Windu.
And he blew up the helmet.
Yeah. So that's what they retconned.
Either was that a fake helmet or that's just not.
I'm sure they could easily just explain it off as it was a fake helmet or the helmet survived or something like that.
Yeah. Because Boba doesn't care about Mandalorian shit, but he does respect his father. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he would blow up his father's
he has
helmet.
honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like due to like religious.
So, what do you think of Mando's new ship?
Okay, so this is one of the most exciting parts of that episode.
This was cool. I like,
and I'm so excited for the new season.
I like this whole montage scene that they
Mando's new ship is a Naboo N1 starfighter. Yeah, like the same from the prequels.
The Royal Starfighter that Anakin goes, let's try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah. But
if they don't reference that, we're gonna riot.
But it's a hot rodded version.
I love it. Yeah,
and it's like illegal as shit.
The
super fast.
Out,
yeah,
I love how the New Republic
The X-Wing.
Rangers
like
pull up alongside him. And it's the same guy that was in Mandalorian season 2.
He recognized him. Yeah.
And they were about to let him go. And just the booster there, the subsonic booster or whatever it is.
Sublight. He can go basically he can go sub warp speed.
Yeah. And I like how
one of the officers asked, "Oh, how did he go to warp? He didn't initiate his
and
capacitor or
I
whatever."
like the other pilot because he's like
oh, he's got a
he went subsonic.
Yeah.
But it's also like implying that the other pilot is old enough to it's implying that there's some old tech that's not in use anymore because it's like been outlawed and stuff like that.
When I like that the mechanic
it's really rare.
And the mechanic, she's funny. I forget her name.
Yeah, she reminds me of Sigourney Weaver just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I just not like too much, but she has the hair and all that. When I first saw,
but I like that she mentions that the Naboo starship, starfighter, is all handmade.
Yeah,
not droid made during the Republic.
Yeah, and she also mentioned stuff like the parts that it uses. You know, they're not trackable by like the technology that the New Republic's using and stuff like that.
It's pre-Empire.
I like stuff like that because it seems on the surface like technology in the Star Wars universe doesn't evolve. And I mean, you could say that they've reached a point where technology evolves very slowly, but comments like that in the show they are improving and changing technology. You know, the Naboo Starfighter is considered old technology, just really good,
really good.
Yeah.
Really
I also just like how he's not convinced the whole time.
Oh yeah, he wants the Razor Crest back.
He keeps just being like this is cool, but where's my Razor Crest?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing though, he's not going to have a home base at his ship anymore.
Yeah,
because he's in a small starfighter.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a hot rod.
Yeah, he doesn't have like his mobile home base with the Razor Crest anymore. Yeah. So that will change things for him.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have to, like, stay at different planets more often and camp out, whatever.
But then he goes on one ride in it.
Yeah.
Goes through Baker's Canyon.
That's where they have the pod race.
Yeah.
And I love how, when he lands again, she's like, how was it? And he's like, wizard. And you can just like... And I love Pedro Pascal does so great as the Mando because, like, you can really feel his emotions even though he's got his helmet on.
Yeah, he's good at
like,
emoting.
You know the face he's making there.
Like through his
gestures and his tone.
Yeah, he's good at that. Yeah.
Like every time a different Mandalorian or even like Cobb Vanth like takes their helmet off, you can like just see his face through his helmet, just like disappointment. Cobb Vanth. I love him. He's one of my favorite new characters, honestly.
I really like him.
Timothy Oliphant.
I am glad that, he's surviving. It seems.
Yeah.
Seems.
So, yeah, Cobb Vanth was in it.
They showed the mod guy, though.
Yeah, the mod guy, yeah. We'll get into that spoiler pretty quickly. But, so, yeah, capping off the episode when Mandalorian gets to the Naboo starship, or starfighter. And also, I forgot to mention the Beskar spear that they said was illegal and whatnot.
Yeah.
They forged it, and he told them to forge it for something for a foundling, for Grogu.
Yeah.
And they made a little Beskar chainmail shirt, which kind of reminds me of like Frodo's chainmail he gets from
the Mithril.
The Mithril, because of that, and Mithril is like indestructible, so it's a similar situation.
Yeah.
But
does Lord of the Rings and Star Wars take place in the same?
Well, George Lucas took ideas from Lord of the Rings.
Actually, technically, yes. Because Star Wars doesn't take place in a different universe. It's a galaxy
far away,
a long time ago. And Lord of the Rings, as we know, takes place in our world.
Yeah.
Just a very long time ago.
So it could be the same universe.
Could be the same universe during a similar time period.
But I definitely know George Lucas had to take some inspiration.
Yeah.
Especially if like the hero arc and like destiny and like
because
like in Lord of the Rings, Mount Doom is literally a metaphor for Mount Destiny.
Yeah, Tolkien was not always subtle.
No, but he also took a lot from Dune.
Yeah.
Like the spice trade stuff, the sand
Dune's
planet.
been nominated for a bunch of Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like it, but it's not really fun to
I'm
watch.
more upset that Willem Dafoe didn't get the nomination.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Spider-Man fans
Who
are rioting
cares?
right now.
I'm not rioting. I knew it probably wouldn't happen, but I know how good that movie is and how.
But
good.
Andrew Garfield got nominated for Best Actor for Tick, Tick, Boom.
Well, that's good. That's
so
good.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah,
That was a
it's
good
root
movie.
for him.
Good movie. Anyway.
But he says he has to make a visit to Grogu. You know.
Yeah. Gotta go
And-
visit a little friend.
Yeah,
first.
little Fred.
But because Fennec comes to hire him. And he's
Yeah,
like,
and then-
it's on the house for Boba.
Yeah.
And but he's like, but first.
And then episode 6 or 5.
Episode 5.
I forget the numbers.
Episode 5, I think
But,
it is. This episode, so episode 6 was like action packed, and it was really good.
I
But
loved
episode 5 was like
Very.
I was
it was
just
special.
grinning the whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, this is good Star Wars. This is
So
good.
yeah, that episode we see Grogu training with Luke,
Yeah.
and Luke. Yeah, they get the deep fake. I'm pretty sure it's a deep fake, but like it.
I
Yeah,
think you're right. I'll look it up real quick.
it looks really good, like spot on.
I don't know
There's a
if-
couple.
I don't know if we'll know for sure because they did some deepfake stuff with season 2 of Mandalorian, but it took them like 6 months before they released like to the public how they did it. So I don't know.
But that was just fans.
Yeah,
Because Mandalorian, that was like CGI actually.
it
Technically,
was CGI, and they did use some deepfake.
but I think this was pure deepfake.
yeah, but the information that might not be out there yet. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, it might be speculation, but either way, whatever they did, Luke looks really good. Like I could watch a whole show with that Luke.
Yeah,
okay?
no,
Like
it
there's a
looks-
couple spots where it looks a little weird, but
I
for the
mean-
most part, they get the lighting right.
I'm still
And
in
like
the
when he's
camp-
facing forwards, just in a neutral put, like it looks perfect. It is a little, we could get into the ethical dilemma of
Look
like
at
bring
that.
back old and.
It's really good. You can see his scarring on the side of his face, like he actually has.
Well, yeah, and like when you
Like-
watch New Hope, you realize Mark Hamill was a way handsomer guy, but then he got in that motorcycle wreck, or was it a car wreck?
I don't remember.
I think he got in a motorcycle wreck, and
Yeah.
that like banged up his face. So he broke his nose. He had to get facial reconstruction.
Yeah, the
That's why he
rumor
looks
is
so
that
different.
the rumor is that's why they had the Wampa attack him. That's not true, apparently.
No, that was coincidence.
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
just coincidence. But
Yeah.
that's the rumor. That's always been the rumor. Is
But yeah,
That's
I've
why
always
they had
heard
that.
that. Like they did that to explain why he looks banged up, looks different. But no, it looks just like Return of Jedi Luke. And God, the Luke versus fighting the Dark Troopers gave me the Luke I always fantasized as a child. But the epic, the greatest, most powerful Jedi ever, etc. But this episode gave me the Luke I always not fantasized, but needed.
yeah, this
The-
was
The Luke that's moved on past Return of Jedi, that's complete, that's a Jedi master.
yeah, not
Training.
like so with like Last Jedi.
Not just like a god.
I've said, and this is a controversial opinion. I like how they did Luke's character in Last Jedi. It's one of the few things I like about the movie. Again, I don't think he needed to die, but the way he died was.
I don't think they
super
could have gone too far with it. Either.
Yeah, but the way he died was very appropriate. He died becoming one with the Force, doing this amazing feat of the Force. And I like the idea that he lost hope and he gave up the Force for a bit. It makes him a more well-rounded character, but I still wanted to. I think it makes him less of. Luke was a little bit of a Mary Sue. Not as bad as Rey, but he was a little bit of a Mary Sue.
but let me explain.
But I like-
Luke had the battle, his destiny of becoming just like
Yeah.
his father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Empire Strikes Back, when Darth Vader says, "No, Luke, I'm your father," that's not just to be taken literally. Like that's what Luke will become if he goes on the wrong path.
And then there's a scene where he's fighting Vader and he defeats him, cuts off his hand.
And then when the Emperor...
That is supposed to be Luke almost failing.
Almost. And then the Emperor tells him
gave into his anger.
The Emperor tells him to do it, basically, to finish him and to join his side as his new apprentice.
The triumphant moment
but
is
then
when
Luke
he says, "No, I'm
no,
a Jedi like my father."
Like my father.
Throws away
that is the Luke. That's my Luke.
That's the heroic move. And
like
again, like I
don't think Luke would ever lose hope like that.
I think it just makes him more well-rounded character. However, I did want to see this though.
Exactly.
This is the Luke I like.
Well, it makes me question
that in his old age he became grumpy.
I know,
and it makes him more dynamic.
I know that's like amazing de-aging and deep fake technology is really just now becoming prevalent. Mm-hmm. But it always made me think: why did the sequel trilogy have to take place 40 years after Return of the Jedi? Why couldn't it have been this originally?
Yeah,
like. If we got this first...
At this point with the sequel trilogy, I would say if someone said, like, I've never watched Star Wars, how should I watch it? I would go, original trilogy, you should watch that. Then prequels.
Yeah.
And then you can read the Wikipedia entries for the new trilogy, so just get the gist of it. And then watch Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
Honestly,
and
I'm
Clone
not
Wars
saying
too, of course, but
whether they could actually make the sequels non-canon or whatever, I don't care about that. But
I think it's stupid that people think they're going to do that.
As long as they can basically just ignore it and just tell the stories we always wanted,
I keep hearing people.
I'm happy with that.
Online clickbait videos.
No, they won't do that.
Going, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to make the sequels, are going to retcon the sequels.
They're not.
And people believe that shit, and I go, that's stupid. They're not going to do that. Why would they do that?
Well, you had people. Well, and J.J. Abrams obviously hated the prequels.
Yeah, fans like us don't like the sequels, but there's a lot of people who do, though.
And also,
Disney, it would be unfair to them.
They don't need to do that because they can just continue making these stories that take place before and do what we wanted. And if you want to ignore the sequel trilogy, fine.
I'm okay
you can ignore
with
it.
The sequel trilogy
I ignore
existing.
I ignore it.
Don't have to go watch it again. I can just watch this.
I probably won't watch them again unless it's for a commentary.
Yeah, like I'm okay with them existing. There's a few choices I controversially. I struggled over that word.
Rise of Skywalker is.
I did like. You said
it's
that
an algorithm.
You
basically.
said Rise of Skywalker right at the moment where it made me sound like I was saying I like it.
Yeah, I did. Clarify, he doesn't.
It's actually the only one that I don't think there's anything good I can find about.
Rise of Skywalker feels like a corporate out. Let me just sum up the sequels real quick. Force Awakens. Oh, let's just do New Hope again. Do the nostalgic stuff, the retro stuff, but not prequel stuff because that was kind of controversial. So on, but actually, the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh, Revenge of the Sith is up there. For me. That's such a good movie. But
then Last Jedi, Rian Johnson took it. It's like, no, I want to do my Star Wars. And I want to subvert expectations, yada, yada, yada. I want to out with the old and in with the new. Well, a lot of people hated that. And then Rise of Skywalker, let's play it safe again, but also not progress any of the characters.
Yeah. And a 5-year-old
and dude that's just kind of safe, like very safe corporate, like if an algorithm made a Star Wars movie, that's Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker was legitimately bad. Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I can find stuff I like about it. I still don't overall love those movies, but I can find stuff that's good.
Honestly,
like I said, again, I like...
If they would have stuck with...
Last Jedi rounded out Luke's character
I think
if
they would have stuck with Last Jedi, it could have been a way better trilogy.
Yeah.
But J.J. Abrams just went back and tried to make...
Maybe they should have let Rian Johnson be in charge of
He made Last Jedi... He did everything to make it non-canon, to make it not count.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Luke, he realized how dumb he was. He was like, oh, yeah.
I hate to say it, but they probably... the trilogy would have been better if they had let Rian Johnson roll and be in charge of the third movie.
Or if they let J.J. Abrams do the whole thing.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
It would have been safer than Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
But at least it would have been a cohesive trilogy. But The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, and I'm so excited for Obi-Wan.
This is the Star Wars we wanted.
Yes.
And it makes me excited for some of the new other shows coming out.
Honestly, it's the Star Wars we needed because
I'm excited for Andor.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Well, it's kind of like not a lot of people are excited for that, but as far as new Star Wars stuff, the other thing that stuck out to me was Rogue One.
We can get more of that
Star
action.
Wars movie. I like Diego Luna. He's a very good actor. I like his character, and
I'd love him to meet Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal. That'd be great because they were in Narcos together.
That would be cool.
But maybe a younger Mandalorian.
I just hope that with Andor, they don't play it so safe.
Can I have a beer?
Yeah, go for it. They're pretty good. The thing with Andor is what makes me interested is that they in Rogue One they hint at he goes, I've done terrible things in the name of the rebellion. This is taking place before that.
Yeah.
I hope they don't get too shy about showing him do questionable things. That's, I think, what could make it really good. Yeah. Is if they show the moral grayness.
Back to the Book of Boba Fett. I think Mandalorian, Boba Fett saved Star Wars, okay?
Yeah.
Let's be real. If we didn't have these shows after the last trilogy, Star Wars would be in a really awkward, bad place right now.
Yeah.
And it's not because I just want to hate it for the sake of hating it or being along with the rest of the crowd. It's just this last thing I'll say. The sequel trilogy is just so disjointed. It doesn't tell a cohesive story.
It's the worst part of it. Yeah.
It feels like 3 beginnings to a new trilogy.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Then Rise Skywalker, the Emperor's back. He's got the largest fleet ever, but we beat him because we have some horses.
My least favorite part of Rise of Skywalker.
And all the conveniences, the Sith dagger was under the sand pit, and the Sith dagger perfectly aligns.
Rise of Skywalker is I can, even if I could forgive all the other stupid plot stuff I hate about it, the stupidest thing is how they just go. They have Poe Dameron just go somehow Palpatine is back, and that's it. And that's how they introduce.
Worse than that. You're forgetting something. The title crawl. It basically says that.
Just Palpatine's back. You're just hold the fuck up.
Hold up.
And I thought from the
and also
that's the worst part of the movie is
the Rise of Skywalker. We finally get a complete arc for Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, and I really like him as Ben Solo. He goes back to the light side. Yeah. Awesome. And then they just kill him.
Yeah, there's actually a couple characters that their character arc, I'm they could have been so good, but they just falls flat. Ben Solo is one of those. Finn is the other one. I think.
Oh, Finn's character arc was done in Force Awakens, bro.
They continued it a little bit in the next one, but
bit.
He could have been really good,
and he gets no resolution with Rey.
Exactly.
He's always telling Rey that he has to tell her something,
and then they never told him. Yeah. He could have been really good, but he wasn't.
But anyways, enough of that shit. The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, true Star Wars sequels. It pays tribute, to the original trilogy, but it also includes stuff in the prequel trilogy, like clone lore, Mandalorian lore, Clone Wars
It's a Star Wars content that recognizes that some of the people watching are fans.
Yeah. What a surprise. And I think the Mandalorian's new starfighter, his Naboo in one.
That's a good example.
A great representation of melding what worked with the prequel trilogy with the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Because you get this antique, deluxe, 1930s-esque ship.
And then you turn it into a
hot rod.
And George Lucas was all about
it's got some panels missing and whatever.
And
so
George Lucas was all about that 50s hot rod aesthetic.
But they took that and put some of the original trilogy aesthetic onto it.
Yeah.
You made it a little bit more scrappy. Yeah. It's old. It's got some missing parts, whatever.
It doesn't fly as smoothly as it was.
It's hijacked, but it's fast as fuck, and I love it.
Fast as fuck,
and
boy.
It's got a little compartment
for Grogu.
Yeah, because it was the astromech port, but what's her name? The
Sigourney Weaver looking lady,
the ship builder, the engineer. She recognizes that Mandalorian doesn't trust droids, wouldn't want an astromech, so she just empties it out and turns it
into a little compartment for
a little.
I like
cockpit.
how she also just assumes that he's gonna have Grogu back at some point.
Oh yeah, that was the idea.
She's like,
let's be real.
Because she knows, like all of us do, that he's a dad now.
Or is he a mom?
Or is he a mom? You know. But anyway, yeah, that episode 4 is when the show turns around. But
now, Boba Fett's not in that episode whatsoever.
Yeah, I will say, though, it was just an episode of The Mandalorian.
And it does feel like the writers didn't have full faith in their story of Boba Fett to flesh out a whole season.
That's kind of one of my criticisms.
However,
but it was a good episode, though.
I really love what they did. All the Darksaber stuff, the N1 Starfighter. Like, great.
Yeah.
I love it. But anyways, the next episode...
But then it continues.
And it continues.
It just keeps up that momentum.
Mando visits the planet where Grogu's on, where Luke's building the new Jedi Temple. He's got a bunch of droids building it. R2's there. And then also, one of my most geek out moments of all of Star Wars is when Ahsoka meets Luke and talks with Luke.
Yeah.
Her master's son.
They're a little awkward around each other.
Well, yeah, and she says, "You remind me of your father," and he just kind of gives her this look like...
Honestly, I would be awkward.
Is that a good thing?
I think if I had a conversation with Luke, Luke's kind of an awkward guy.
No, but think about it. Ahsoka knows his father way more than he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, and training Grogu and how and George Lucas, how everything mirrors each other. It's poetry.
Mm-hmm.
How him training Grogu is like Yoda training Luke and Dagobah. Because like Yoda's riding on a backpack, Grogu's riding on a backpack,
and then you can see Grogu like hopping around and
and I love how he mentions how I don't think I'm teaching him; he's just remembering because Grogu was at the Jedi Temple in Coruscant for decades.
Yeah,
presumably,
and Luke makes him remember that.
And does Luke? Do you think Luke saw the Order 66 stuff with Grogu?
I don't know. I think maybe, but I'm not sure.
Because if he did, that would reveal a lot to him, like what actually happened.
I'm sure at this point he has a good idea
about Order 66.
Yeah,
he has to.
Well, because what they've established in the video games, like in Battlefront, which I know it's like that's like takes the lowest precedent on canon,
but they're still canon right now.
They say that basically, like after the Empire fell, Luke did go around like learning about the Jedi and collecting information. I bet he knows about Order 66.
Oh yeah,
I bet he knows.
But I think this might be
some idea.
Obviously, I think this might be his first time actually seeing it.
Maybe, yeah.
Happen.
Yeah, probably.
And that scene though, and I don't know who the Jedi are defending Grogu. I think they're just kind of nondescript.
Yeah.
But that scene with the clone troopers, and that's the second time we've seen clone troopers live action.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was actual prop armor they had on or just CGI. I couldn't really tell.
But
cool. And also there's and I've seen Star Wars Theory video on it.
Yeah.
There's a logo in the background that matches up with a Jedi. That ends up going dark side or something.
Huh.
I forget her name. She's the one that sold Ahsoka out.
Oh,
she's like the green
Barisafi.
Yeah. Some people are theorizing that perhaps
Barisafi and her master was Luminara.
Perhaps maybe she saved Grogu.
Huh.
But also, the door's still open that Yoda saved Grogu, Obi-Wan did, or anyone else.
Yeah. We don't know.
Also, is Grogu Yoda's son? Let's just get that out of the way. Did him and Yaddle,
I don't want to talk about that.
God. I highly doubt it. Because that's so against the Jedi way.
I was thinking how great it would have been if they made one of those Jedis that got shot by clones there, Shaak Ti. Because this would be what the fourth canon death of Shaak Ti.
Yeah. But we see that and
just to fuck with the fans.
And yeah, we see Luke training Grogu, and the Yoda theme, like the Dagobah music, starts playing again. Like it's so, I love it.
Much more pleasant training area. Than
Smiling the whole time.
Yeah,
like when Luke faced off the Dark Troopers, I was like, "Yeah, badass, best Jedi in the galaxy, whatever." But then this just hit me in the heart, hit me in the feels.
Get to see him being Luke,
the Luke that we always
Luke.
wanted to see, Master Luke.
Yeah, I love it.
Not when he's a failure and drinking milk from an alien tea and referring to lightsabers as laser swords.
Although I did enjoy
telling
that.
Rey to fuck off, basically.
I did enjoy grumpy old Luke. I enjoyed that.
And just sitting back while all his friends die. When he went against Yoda's orders to sit back. Because remember, in Empire Strikes Back, he had the vision of all his friends dying. So he went to save him, defying Yoda.
Yeah.
And then that's when he got his ass kicked by Vader, and it was revealed, and that's when he realized that's what he would become. Like, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
But no, just seeing him as Jedi Master Luke, rebuilding Jedi Temple, training with Grogu, great. And then, yeah, him interacting with Ahsoka, and she says perhaps they'll meet again.
Yeah.
Sick.
And I also just like that. So
and I love Rosario Dawson.
She's perfect as
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. She's great. I like Mando comes and he's willing to like not see Grogu.
Oh yeah, so Mando wants to give his chainmail shirt.
Ahsoka's worried that if Grogu sees him, that Grogu will just immediately
attachment,
give up the Jedi way,
or go to the dark side at least.
Yeah. So she's like, I'll give him the gift that you've brought.
And Mandalorian very reluctantly agrees.
Yeah, but he loves Grogu, so he does agree.
But then Luke, and we'll talk about the other thing that happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Probably the best scene in Star Wars, in my opinion.
You might be right. It's probably one of the best scenes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know what scene
it's
you're
pure
talking
Western.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat.
Holy shit.
Grinning like, this is so
Holy
cool.
fuck, it was so good, dude.
I was like, I know what's going to happen, but...
Yeah. But anyways, Luke gives him an ultimatum at the end of the episode. He presents him the shirt. He says, the Mandalorian gifted this to you. And if you choose this path, you will have to forsake the way of the Jedi. And he was also, remember, Grogu, a short time for you is a lifetime for others. And that's true because Yoda lived till he was 900.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Luke gave him this ultimatum, because he knows that Grogu could be a potentially amazing force for the light side, for the Jedi, or a horrible thing for the dark side. Because he can live so long.
I like that Luke gave Grogu a choice, because Luke is continuing the Jedi ways, but he's supposed to represent what the Jedi couldn't be.
Yeah.
What they failed at.
Well,
so the idea
you can definitely see the fear in Luke, because he even asked Ahsoka, what should I do with him?
Yeah. But it's the idea that he's able to overcome that fear and give his student an actual choice.
Yeah, instead of forcing him in.
And say, because he's still going, if you really do want to be a Jedi, you do have to forgo attachment. That's the way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you the choice. If you don't want to go down the Jedi path, I'm not going to make you.
Well, because if he made him and he had emotional attachment to Mandalorian, even if Mandalorian just died of old age, Grogu would live on centuries.
Yeah.
And he would have that attachment and that sadness, and that leads to fear and hate, so on.
I just think it's cool because
Grogu could be he could be one of the worst Sith. Yeah, I know it's funny to think about because he's a baby.
He could be a bad,
but literally he could be like a Sith Yoda because of his attachment, and they live fucking forever. So for 1,000 years, Grogu could be the most powerful Sith Lord if he went down the wrong path.
Yeah,
but Luke realizes
I think it's great though, because it's this thing where Luke, this episode shows Luke he's not immune to being afraid. Even now, after he triumphed over Darth Sidious,
he's wary.
He's still not immune to these feelings.
But that's smart though.
But he is ultimately wiser than Yoda was, or Mace Windu was,
or
Qui-Gon.
Well, there's a theory about Qui-Gon I saw.
Yeah.
That Qui-Gon knew what was going to happen. When he meditated before his final fight with Darth Maul, when he sat between the force field.
Yeah.
He saw what was going to happen. And rather than resisting it, the will of the Force, he died.
Qui-Gon's one of my favorite characters
Qui-Gon,
in Star Wars.
There's this theory that like Qui-Gon knew Anakin would go to the dark side, knew that he would become Darth Vader. Maybe not the specifics of everything, but he saw visions of it.
Yeah.
But he knew that was the will of the Force, and he knew that was the only way to balance.
Qui-Gon was
Qui-Gon was one of the only ones questioning the Jedi Council, because the Jedi were ruling. I mean,
Qui-Gon was the wisest Jedi of his.
The Jedi were ruling over the galaxy,
Yeah.
and it was not in balance.
Yeah, absolutely no. Qui-Gon was the wisest Jedi of his time.
Because Qui-Gon knew what was right for the Force.
Even Obi-Wan, who was a very good Jedi,
Oh,
had
yeah.
his flaws. Qui-Gon,
he still believed in the Jedi Council.
Yeah,
and
Qui-Gon was the wisest, truest Jedi, I think, of his era.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan, after Qui-Gon died, decided to train Anakin to besides all the warnings
Yeah,
about him being too old.
Because he trusted Qui-Gon. He said, Qui-Gon said so.
But this theory I recently saw, how like Qui-Gon knew this would all happen, but he knew it had to happen for to be balanced.
That's cool, yeah.
I think it really makes sense. But like Obi-Wan trained Anakin regardless of his fears about him becoming dark, because he thought maybe he could get over that, get past that,
Yeah.
keep him from becoming a Sith.
Yeah, Obi-Wan did it because he trusted Qui-Gon, but he still didn't understand fully.
I think Luke, rather than trying to go with the Force, he's trying to prevent another dark side user.
I also though I've always thought that Luke, one of the things that makes him different than the old Jedi, is while he still recognizes that forgoing attachment is necessary for the way, he also recognizes that it's natural to have attachments.
Yeah.
And you should.
Well, Luke was a teenager when he started his training, which is way old.
And he's like, you shouldn't fight these attachments in a way that will backlash. So he's like,
right.
He's going like, I like that he gives Grogu a choice, because he's going like, if you choose the armor, you're gonna form attachments, and you can't be a real Jedi, but that's okay for you to go that way
and not be a Jedi. But even though I think Grogu is going to be the one that reunites Jedi and Mandalorians in a big way.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Like Tar Vizsla.
But
he also, the other option he presents him with to go the way of the Jedi is Yoda's lightsaber.
Yeah.
Exactly Yoda's lightsaber. And this does retcon things, because in the comics, in the Darth Vader comic, what's his name? The blue guy...
Yeah,
that's always with Darth Sidious with Palpatine.
Yeah, the senator guy.
They throw all the lightsabers they recover into a furnace, and one of them he holds up is Yoda's.
Yeah.
Well, according to this, that didn't happen.
It's still around. Yeah.
And I actually saw a Star Wars theory, that guy, talk about how after Yoda's battle with Palpatine, when he gets up, when he jumps into Organa's ship, you can see his lightsaber on him. And it may be just continuity error.
Yeah.
But he could have easily just force pulled his lightsaber to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it fell on the ground. Like, I don't think... I always wondered, like, why didn't he pick up his lightsaber real quick?
I don't think it's a huge deal.
But there's also a part in the comics where Yoda decided never use the lightsaber for, like, hunting or, like, for anything like that. Because that goes against the Jedi way.
Yeah.
Because, like, using it for, like, yourself, essentially, for selfish means.
Yeah, yeah.
But that doesn't mean he didn't have it. He just chose not to use. Like, and
I think it's
Empire Strikes Back,
from
he could have had it on Dagobah.
I think it's implied he did. I think it's implied,
but he just never wanted to use it again.
In a box in his hut.
But he just felt he couldn't use it again.
Yeah.
Or you could say Luke tracked it down and found it, or Ahsoka had it and gave it to Luke.
Yes. So Luke
but he presents him with that option.
And we find out in the last episode,
Grogu picks
Mandalorian.
The shirt, the way of the Mandalorian.
They could have done it no other way. People would have been very upset.
Well, a theory I had before this finale, that Grogu was going to pick the chainmail and Luke was going to take him to Tatooine to get back with the Mandalorian. And then during that, this whole battle, if the Pikes would be going on, and Luke would help out.
That would have been cool.
Almost turned out that way. I thought it was about to turn out that way, but then it was revealed in the finale that Luke just sent R2 to drop him off.
It would have been cool if Luke had showed up too, but maybe they would have been
at the same time
him.
It would have taken away from Boba Fett because it's still his show.
Yeah,
because Luke.
Okay,
he would have been able to solve all the problems.
Let's get into what's happening with Boba Fett now.
Let's get into what happened.
Mando goes to help Boba Fett.
Wait! We're missing something.
Yeah.
Let's get into what happens with during that episode, aside from the Luke stuff.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. So Mando goes to help Boba Fett.
And Boba Fett and Fennec say we need more
and then Mando
manpower. Mando's like, I know some people.
And then he goes to Cobb Vanth in his town, Maz Espa Freetown.
Yeah, they know
they call it Freetown. It's easier to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the other name. But
they
rename it Freetown.
Yeah, but he goes to Cobb Vanth, and they're buddies now. They only. They're square.
They're drinking buddies now.
Yeah, and I love Timothy Oliphant.
He's good in this.
Yeah, he's a good cowboy.
Yeah, that's.
Essentially, that's what he is.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he tells him he basically tells Mando that he'll consider it and everything.
Yeah, because Mando's like, I want you to raise a garrison.
And then he tells the bartender guy that gather to town. We're gonna have a discussion.
We're gonna talk about this.
Yeah. But then, ominous music plays. The wind.
The name of the episode, "Out of the Desert Comes a Stranger."
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
In the distance, you see a man in a hat and a trench coat.
I mean,
it's none other.
I had seen a spoiler of this before I watched the episode.
Oh yeah.
If I hadn't, and I was still freaking out. If I had not seen a spoiler, I would have been losing my shit.
I freaked out so hard.
Yeah.
It's Cad Bane. Holy shit. And that scene
he is
and also I want to say, and it's the same voice actor. You might I forget his name.
Yeah, I can pull it up.
But what I must say, let's say you've only watched the movies, you know nothing about Clone Wars, you're just a casual my
Corey
dad.
Corey
Burton, yeah, great.
Yeah.
But you'd say it's like you're my dad, and you've only seen the movies, you haven't seen the Clone Wars, you don't know all the extended stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But as an introduction to live action, amazing with Cad Bane.
So good.
They immediately show he's a force to be reckoned with. He's like this Clint Eastwood type character.
As someone familiar with who he is, I knew how this scene was going to play out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear a spoiler on how the scene was going to play out. I just heard a spoiler that he was in it.
Though.
But I knew how it was going to play out.
And he shows up, and him and Cobb Vanth have a standoff. Just a Western standoff.
Classic.
Yeah.
Tarantino.
And oh, my God.
Western standoff.
I'm not fucking with you, dude. It's one of the best Western scenes
I've
ever seen.
Good. It's classic.
Holy shit.
The Marshal being like,
and the music. The music
catch your name.
And I love the score throughout this whole series, by the way. Great score. But the score kind of has a Dark Knight vibe. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think
with the ascending notes and the tension building, the Joker theme. It reminded me of that. But and he tells Cobb Vanth ask him what's his name. I didn't quite catch your name, and Cad Bane says, you shouldn't be sticking your nose, or something like that.
Basically, the Pike Syndicate.
They hired Cad Bane.
And Cad Bane's job is to make sure that Cobb Vanth doesn't raise a garrison to help Boba Fett.
Yeah, and then when Cad Bane says Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who worked for the Empire, but also Cad Bane's a cold-blooded killer.
Also, Cad Bane
who also worked for Palpatine, I think.
It's possible, and also Cad Bane trained Boba Fett.
Yeah, and he worked under
as a
Jango.
bounty hunter. Yeah. They know each other. They have the standoff and the tension. And they hint at their history together.
And also, so Cobb Vanth's the marshal, and his deputy is an idiot, and Cobb Vanth tells him to go back inside.
Cobb Vanth's smart.
Yeah.
He knows what's. I
think he didn't know Cad Bane's name or anything, but he recognized them. He's
He's
probably heard stories.
He recognized him as a threat immediately.
Well, because he's fucking freaky looking too.
Yeah,
like this live action version.
And also, he's the most Western looking character.
Oh,
in all
yeah.
of Star Wars. He's got the hat and the duster.
Well, and also let's talk about his design, his live action design. There's some people that have been complaining about it. Oh, he's not dark enough blue. His face isn't long enough. Whatever. Let's get something straight and just out. Clone Wars is a stylized animated series.
Yeah.
Okay? That's number one. Number two, Cad Bane is old.
Yeah.
And for his species, he's old.
Well, I've seen so many.
His species doesn't live super long. They live about as long as humans. He's
I've
like
been-
in his 70s.
I've been seeing people online, a lot of people just having these discussion posts on why does he look different in the live action? And I'm just
Look
like,
at Ben Kenobi and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
well, I'm also just like, because it's a different adaptation of the character.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of weird if they made him look like a cartoon.
But even if you want to
Like-
try to say he's supposed to look like the Clone Wars version, look at Obi-Wan and Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor are completely different people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys realize that.
It's just as simple as it's a different it's another
I think it looks good, and I think
I
it
thought it
looks
looked great, yeah.
intimidating and creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Like his teeth and like
They did
red
a
eyes
fantastic
and
job
the voice,
with Cad Bane. in
and they
this,
have
yeah.
the standoff and the
This
dep-
is, I mean, honestly, it's exactly how I would imagine Cad
Live
Bane
action.
in live action. It's
and then the
just
deputy fucks it up. He tells him he's like, the marshal doesn't take demands or whatever. And,
Yeah,
and then Cobb Vamp just looks at him
perfect.
like,
He's so
fucking
pissed. He's
serious?
like, you fucking
yeah.
like
Yeah. Well, anyways, they're in a standoff, and then the deputy, not Cobb Vamp, tries to draw first. Cad Bane takes out the marshal in the
I
shoulder.
wonder if
Cobb
Cobb Vanth would have been able to.
I don't think so, but
I
he is a
doubt it.
fast draw.
He's-
It would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, I still think that Cad Bane would have won, but Cobb Vanth is. I mean, they show in a scene earlier where he takes out some Pike Syndicate guys. He's a fast draw.
But then again, Cad Bane's trained under Jango Fett. He's a whole league. He's the
Yeah.
best bounty hunter.
I mean,
I mean,
I think in Mandalorian season 2, when they introduce Cobb Vanth, they show that he was kind of relying on the armor.
Yeah.
But this episode, I think, does show he is good by himself.
Well, Cad Bane even mentions, he's like, you should have never gave up your armor.
Yeah, and then later on, there's a
comes
standoff
up
with
again.
Boba Fett.
Oh,
and
God.
and
Holy shit.
And
Okay, but anyways.
Cad Bane's like, I'm faster, and Boba Fett's like, I have armor.
He's like, we'll see.
Which was good. That was...
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, that scene I rewatched about 5 times or more. Just that scene.
It's
and like,
so
holy
good.
shit. That, like,
Yeah.
honestly could potentially be the best scene in Star Wars.
It's
The tension,
it's up there.
the dialogue, the sound
Yeah.
design, and then
It's-
just Cad Bane just taking him out real fast. And then, like, the end where he says, as long as the spice
Yeah, he's done.
something.
Keep your heads down, and we'll leave you alone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an enforcer.
Great.
Yeah.
But then the finale, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one problem I have with the finale,
Yeah.
but it's not really bothering me as much anymore because it does make sense.
Okay.
So in the beginning, it shows that Grogu's back in the X-Wing, but Luke isn't there. He just sent R2. R2 just flew him.
Yeah.
Luke just sent him off on his way.
R2's, you can trust R2.
But I was annoyed. I was like, why wouldn't Luke be there? That seems kind of cold to just send Grogu out like that. But at the same time, Luke probably is scared about having an attachment to Grogu.
Yeah, I didn't
And
read
Grogu
into
having
it
it-
too much.
Grogu having an
personally.
attachment to him.
Yeah.
So just sending him off and like saying goodbye off on the planet where he's building Jedi Temple and then sending him off does make sense because Luke, for one, probably doesn't want to leave his new Jedi Temple unattended.
Yeah.
And also, he doesn't want to have that emotional attachment either between him and Grogu or just Grogu with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grogu's back. And he obviously chose the chainmail Beskar armor.
He's wearing it.
He's got that.
And I like how Mando sees he's wearing it, and Mando goes, "You're wearing the shirt."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're wearing it.
Yeah. But I
proud
love, oh my God, I love the bit where they send off like the cyberpunk people and Black Chrysanthemum, you know, the Wookiee guy, out to different Chrysanthemum, yeah, to different cities. And like they all have a pose, and like they all get attacked. And
well, they're all in the same city, but they're different
sectors,
districts.
Yeah, districts.
Because Boba Fett had made the deal with the other crime lords that they stayed neutral.
Yeah, and they didn't.
Of course, they didn't. We saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah. But and I love how that one Twi'lek guy is with him. He's pretty funny. And it gets to the point where they're pinned down, and also Boba meets Cad Bane again. They kind of have a bit of a standoff, but. Fennec Shan
like you've gotten slow in your old age.
Fennec Shan convinced him to not fight him, and that he's too emotional and everything, which is a lot like the Jedi, but also just kind of like just the warrior. Like,
she's just like, no, this is just strategically bad idea for you to try to draw on him right now.
Yeah, but yeah, they have a cool discussion. And, I can't remember all the lines, but it's cool. But anyways,
I like how the mayor's majordomo guy is like, I'll negotiate for you.
Yeah, the Twi'lek
and Boba
guy.
Fett's like, okay.
Here, this is one of my favorite parts, honestly.
I'll write down a message
so
for
they
you.
send him out. So Boba Fett and Mando are surrounded by pikes.
Yeah, it's just the two of them because he sent out Fennec to go to the other city.
Love how him and Mando have the discussion. And you mentioned earlier how Mando says it's with the creed that he will be by Boba's side till the very end, until they die.
Gave him his word.
Yeah, he gave him his word. And Boba's like, you really believe in that shit?
And Fennec's not there because he sent Fennec out.
Boba basically offers Mando to run off. He's like, you can go if you want.
He understands. He's not a dick.
But then Mando's like, no, I'm a man of my word.
In an earlier episode, he says to like Fennec, he's like, I want to be a crime boss who doesn't treat people like us, how crime bosses always treat people like us.
Yeah.
Mando's a gun for hire, and that's Boba Fett's whole thing is he's like, I'm not going to treat these gun for hires and the footmen like they're nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat them with respect.
But Mando sticks to his creed.
Yeah. And Fennec's not there because he sent Fennec off to go. They figured out where the Pike Syndicate leader was hanging out.
Yeah.
It's in a different city, so it takes her a while to get there. Yeah. But he sends her off. And I also, side note, we'll get to the standoff. Side note, on Fennec's way out, she just like saves the mods.
Oh yeah, she saves. Yeah, she's so badass.
On her way out of town.
Well, didn't she fight Cad Bane in the Bad Batch? Like he appeared in that.
Yeah, she did.
And she was in that too.
Both Fennec and Boba are very familiar with who Cad Bane is.
Yeah.
And they hint at it in this conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just Mando and Boba, and the Twi'lek diplomat guy that worked for the mayor. He offers to negotiate, and Boba says, "All right."
Yeah, he's like, "Let me."
And then he's reading negotiation, and it's kind of funny and whatever. And they tell him to just get to the point, and he says, "Our offer is," and he hesitates, and
he's
like, "Tell us."
He's like, "How about you guys?"
And then
tell us.
They're like, "Tell us." And he's like, "Nothing."
He's like,
and then he goes on to say something along the lines, it's like, the sands of Tatooine will blossom with the fertilized, like the
bodies of you fertilized from the bodies of
like, holy shit, that's so badass. I thought that guy was about to get shot.
Yeah.
And then Boba and Mando swoop in
they
with their
used it as a
jetpacks.
distraction, basically.
They're flying in. They got the high ground on their jetpacks.
This was so cool.
Boba and Mando side by side. Like, that was so cool. Using all their gadgets. But they do become overwhelmed. And I like how they show, the Beskar is indestructible, but they still feel the impact of the blasters. Like, they're getting knocked around and stuff.
Yeah.
But they take out a shit ton of the Pikes, though. But they get some help. I think Black Chrysanthemum comes in. He's attacked by a bunch of Bosk. Not Bosk. So what's their
right
species?
Before this happened, all of their troops, the Gamorrean guards, got killed.
What are they called? The Bosk species.
The what species?
Bosk, the lizard guys.
Oh, the Trandoshans.
And they hunted Wookiees, didn't they?
They did hunt Wookiees.
So it's kind of funny that they
predator,
fight Chrysanthemum, but Chrysanthemum takes him out.
That's why in one of the earlier episodes, Chrysanthemum just like slaughters one of them in a bar.
Yeah,
it's because Wookiees hate Trandoshans.
Yeah.
So right before this all happened, all Boba's guides across the city have been ambushed and are attacked, and Fennec saved the mods. So they're fighting. They're having this stand. The mods come first. No, actually, no. The people of Freetown come first.
Freetown.
Because
they come and save the day. And they have like a hover tank situation.
Yeah, so they come in.
I don't know if you know the models.
I don't know, no. No, so they come in because they all got together and be like, it's fucked up that Cobb Vanth got killed, so we're going to go fight.
Yeah.
So they still went and fought, and then the mods show up. And then I really loved when the Chrysanthemum comes in because it's like they're pinned down still. It's not enough people yet. And then just you hear like a roar around the corner, and like a pike gets just thrown across the alley, and Chrysanthemum comes in with like 2 pikes clinging to him, and it's just this whole scene like thing of like, don't fuck with a Wookiee.
Yeah, seriously. But Chrysanthemum joins in, and he's badly injured though. He's been taking a lot of damage.
Yeah,
because he's a big tank, he's a big target. But then, oh shit. And I believe they're Scorpionex battle droids.
Yeah,
and they're from Legends.
Yeah, I didn't catch them exactly,
but I know they're from Legends.
They're basically, for if you've only watched the movies, giant, more powerful
armored droidicas.
Yeah, they're tough ass droids,
like droidica tanks. Yeah, and they got the force shield and everything. So like energy weapons can't get them. Anything can't get them. Really, I mean, they're
it's
like
one of those things where like one of those things probably costs like $1 billion fucking credits to build. Yeah.
So the Pikes had a lot of money to spend to purchase them.
Yeah. That's
but yeah, they're overwhelmed and they're seemingly indestructible. And I love the bit when Mando even tries the Darksaber and that doesn't even work.
Yeah.
And then Black Chrysanthemum, he almost gets through, but then it knocks him out of the way. And I love that bit with him like roaring through the shield. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, he is a cool character.
Yeah, really like but they knock him out of the way. But then Boba's like, "Wait,
Boba's like, can you hold them?" And Mando's like, "Yeah, I'll distract him." And Boba flies away. We don't know what's gonna happen.
And I love how they're like constantly shooting him as he flies away too.
Yeah,
but as previously mentioned, he has a pet Rancor.
yeah.
But while that's happening, Mando runs into the engineer lady. She's on like a droid.
Yeah, she's coming to bring Baby Yoda to him.
And then he's like, "Run, go!" She's like, "I can't hear you." And then she sees the Scorpionex droid
carriage thing.
Yeah, and then she sees the Scorpionex droid. She's like, "Run!"
And then he's
reunited.
She's like, "Oh yeah, by the way." Opens up the blanket and Grogu, and he's like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, and he's reunited with Grogu to have a good moment, but he also tells him, "He's like, hey, we're like in a
really bad time,
really bad time." Yeah. But then the most badass Boba Fett moment.
This was really cool.
This has got to be the most badass Boba Fett moment in Star Wars history.
This is what I meant when I said it seemed like the plot for the last couple episodes was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni just like 2 kids playing with action
remember
figures.
when Boba Fett and the holiday special rode a big monster?
Yeah.
Well, you get kind of that. He's riding the Rancor. Because remember, he mentions that he wants to ride it.
And you basically get
he said he's rode creatures 10 times its size.
You basically get the Star Wars equivalent of a kaiju fight here.
Yeah, but you have Boba,
a Rancor fighting a giant robot.
When you have Boba riding on the Rancor, shooting pikes and like shooting the Scorpionex droids, and like it's taken on the Scorpionex, and it gets some damage, but it takes them on, and then here comes Din Djarin, the Mando with his Darksaber. He disables them, but then Din is in a lot of trouble. The Scorpionex droid's like pouncing on him, like its shield's disabled, but he's like on the ground.
Yeah.
Like stomps on his leg, hits his Beskar, but then Grogu comes out and he like pulls out a gear.
Yeah, he uses
from
his
leg. And it like hits him and he screams. I thought that was funny. But that was another time that Grogu saves the Mando.
Yeah.
And then but then Boba finishes it off with the Rancor. And then he goes on to finish the other one off.
Yeah.
Tosses the building, and I love the destruction and the fighting. And the music felt kind of like Duel of Fates to me.
Yeah, it was
slightly.
Pretty
it was similar.
Epic, like,
it was very epic,
music,
like music. The moment. So Boba takes out both of the Scorpion X droids, the Rancor, but then Cad Bane shows up. And also, wait. I love that fight with the Scorpion X droids. I love a good robot murder.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me a lot of like the Kong taking on Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was like a kaiju fight from Star Wars. It was a giant robot fighting a giant monster.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
was awesome. But then Cad Bane shows up, flamethrowers Rancor, which scares it off. Which
knocks Boba Fett off.
And then it's just Boba and Bane.
Yeah.
And they talk a bit, and Cad Bane, Boba says, like, I'm not a little boy anymore, and you're old now. And Cad Bane's like, I'm still faster than you. And he is.
Yeah.
He still draws faster, but Boba's got the armor, obviously, which saves him. But then Cad Bane beats him with the armor, with everything.
Yeah.
Takes his helmet off. He's about to execute him. And then Boba...
He has the stick.
The gaffy stick or whatever from the Sand People.
Like hanging from his shoulder.
And he uses one of those new skills to defeat Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Because Cad Bane never expected that. And that also shows that Boba is not just a bounty hunter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's grown beyond that.
Yeah. And he really doesn't hesitate to kill Cad Bane.
And this is where another
in the chest.
complaint comes in. Boba defeats Cad Bane, knocks the pistols out of his hand, blasters with the gaffy stick, and then Cad Bane tries to flamethrow him, and he says, "You're just like your father, cold-blooded killer," all this stuff. And then Boba just straight up kills him. He stabs him.
Yeah.
But it's Star Wars. Anyone can survive anything.
Yeah.
I bet you anything Cad Bane will be back.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
With augmentations droid parts, whatever.
I do like, though, how Cad Bane's like, you're just a cold-blooded killer. And Boba's like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
And kills him.
But also...
he's not a Luke. He's not a, oh, no, I'll prove you wrong. No, he's no, I'm in charge now, bitch.
I do love Cad Bane, though. It is sad. If he is actually dead, it is a little sad. But all these people freaking out, it's like, he's been in the Clone Wars a shit ton. Also... The Emperor, well, if you ignore the sequels, Emperor got thrown down a bin.
Yeah.
By Darth Vader. And like, it was not like a big epic thing, really.
Yeah, and if Cad Bane is dead, who better to kill him
than Boba?
Than Boba Fett.
But I think he'll come back.
Yeah, we'll see, yeah.
They can't just bring a cool character like that and then just kill him. Yeah. There's a good chance he'll be back. Like, don't worry. It's Star Wars. We all thought Darth Maul was dead. We all thought Boba Fett was dead.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, for a long time in the canon, he was dead.
Yeah.
In canon.
And we have a whole TV show on him now.
Yeah. Exactly. So, all these people worried about, pissed off about Cad Bane dying.
And in the post-credit scene, they show Cobb Vanth in the back to tank.
See, and I thought, for a second, I thought that was going to be Cad Bane. But then it was Cobb Vanth.
But then the mod guy was there, so it's implying that... between the back to tank and the mod guy.
But I love the standoff between them.
Oh.
But then you get this kind of epilogue moment where the Rancor's gone loose and just destroying the city and like fighting people. And then Mando tries to take it on. And then the Rancor grabs Mando, tries to bite his head off. But it bites his helmet and it's Beskar, so it doesn't work. And he just looks at him, just tosses him aside. And some people are like, oh, Mando should be like severely injured or dead from the blunt force. But like, for one, it's Star Wars. It's fantasy. Number two, he's got Beskar armor.
Yeah.
Which we still don't really quite know the properties of.
If you're going to nitpick that, you got to nitpick all the movies to that extent. There's stuff that happens in the original movies that you're like, oh, they would have died.
But Mando does seem like he's about to die to the hands of the Rancor. And also, people underestimate the power of the Rancor.
It's a pretty powerful beast. It's impressive.
Honestly, like a seasoned, like battled, hardened one can survive all kinds of blaster bolts, can survive missiles.
It's impressive that Luke killed one.
Yeah.
As easily as he did.
With the bone and like the gate.
He dropped the gate on its head, on its neck.
And people talk about how that one wasn't like a battle hardened one. It was like a tortured one. It wasn't like well maintained.
And this one was a young.
A young one, yeah.
Wasn't even like a fully battle hardened one.
But as you can see, I mean, it took straight up blaster cannons from the Scorpion X droids and just tanked them pretty much. Like, Rancors are really tough.
Yeah.
But then, Mando's about to die, it seems. But then Grogu steps out. And then he uses a Force ability. I forget what it's called. It's like Beast control.
It's what Obi-Wan does.
And I think Anakin did it too in the Battle of Geonosis. But I know Obi-Wan does it.
No, Obi-Wan doesn't just... So in the way with Jedi, not all Jedi can do all the Jedi powers, basically. Obi-Wan is known for, like... A lot of Jedi have, like, a very unique ability, or at least ability that they're just better at than other Jedi. Obi-Wan's he is good with animals. It's how he rides that lizard thing.
That's true. Well, either way, Grogu... he puts the Rancor to sleep.
Yeah.
It's a really cute moment.
And then
he like goes sleep by him.
He goes and takes a nap next to it.
But Grogu's a special case for Jedi in general because he's a Yoda species, which we still don't know what the species
he's
name is
shown
called.
to be just fucking and super
It's
powerful.
implied, heavily implied, that Yoda species, whatever they're called, have a really strong connection to the Force. Just natural connection.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they live so long. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But I don't know if they'll explain
is especially powerful in the Force, just naturally.
Yeah, well, and as Luke mentioned, it's more like he's remembering than Luke is teaching.
Yeah.
Because Grogu was at the Jedi Temple for decades before the Empire.
Yeah.
So,
So, Grogu is especially powerful.
Yeah, and he puts the Rancor to sleep, and you have a good moment with that. And then that's the battle, pretty much. Yeah. And then you had this epilogue scene of Boba just walking around Fennec Shen. It's kind of playing this like medieval music, like just he's walking around the city,
everyone's
just
rebuilding,
smiling, eating
and
fruit,
being
whatever.
happy with Boba being the leader. There is the scene where it shows Fennec taking out the Pike leaders.
Oh yeah, that scene. She takes out the Pike leaders,
so cool,
by herself. Like hangs one of them.
They really get to that scene really shows. I mean, she's master assassin Fennec Shan.
Yeah,
that's showing her being a master assassin.
Yeah,
it was cool. That was
I love Fennec Shan.
She's great. I hope we see more of her too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. She's Boba Fett's like main lieutenant, like right hand man. But yeah, Boba Fett's just walking around the village, just being being Tamora Morrison.
Every
eating
time
fruit,
he has to
just
bow with his right arm, he's like, "Why does it have to be the right arm?" And she's like, "Would you rather being shot at?" He's like,
she's like, "Why don't you step in the back to tank?" And he's like, "Oh, it's being used," and it's Cobb Vanth using it.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of this relationship between Cobb Vanth and Boba.
Yeah,
because Cobb Vanth is the only other person to wear that armor.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool to see that.
And it seems that Cobb Vanth is going to get some kind of droid, some kind of upgrade, some kind of cybernetics.
I hope we see more of him too. He's cool.
Yeah, no, I love Timothy Oliphant.
He's fun.
Yeah, he's good.
Anyway, that sums up most of.
That sums it up. But yeah, I mean,
it was again like the first few episodes
started
were
slow,
not that bad. People were overreacting. I think they were okay. But then the last few episodes were just some of the best Star Wars.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Really good.
So yeah, those last couple episodes, especially like some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen. And I love the Luke stuff. And they finally give Boba Fett like the credit due. Him riding on the Rancor, it's awesome. And I love the Mando stuff.
They make him an actual character.
Exactly. Make him a character. I can't wait to see the new Mandalorian. I love the little kind of, well, not end credit scene, but the scene with Mando and Grogu and the Naboo starfighter. Grogu's tapping on the...
He's like, no.
He's like,
fine, one more time.
And then they go like sublight speed. Grogu freaks out.
I love that. It's just
that.
Back to classic Mando.
Yeah, they're back. Yeah, it's good. So I can't wait for Mando season 3, but Obi-Wan Kenobi, holy shit, we'll definitely cover that.
Do you want to do this quick little quiz here?
I do want to do this quick quiz.
Yeah, so
also look forward to like Moon Knight review and whatever.
Oh, absolutely. I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah.
So this is StarWars.com. How well do you know Boba Fett?
All right, we'll do this and we'll end this shit.
All right. Number 1. Who is Boba's father?
Let's see the list.
Owen Fett.
Owen.
Wow.
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett.
Maxim Fett. Or Anakin Skywalker.
What? Well, it's Jango Fett.
It's Jango. God.
What is Boba's homeworld? Tatooine, Mandalore, Zolan, or Kamino?
There's only one reason I know this one. Because Boba's a clone, so...
Well, yeah.
It's Kamino.
Yeah.
What Jedi chased Boba and Jango from their home?
Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, or Shaq?
I feel like it was Obi-Wan.
It was Obi-Wan. It's the scene where...
Battle of Kamino.
is where Obi-Wan fights with Jango and Kamino.
Well, yeah, that part in Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. What name did the Kaminoans give to Boba?
Oh, I'm not sure about this.
I don't know. Alpha, Omega, Delta, or Lil Jango?
Was he Alpha?
I don't know.
It was Alpha.
It was Alpha.
I got it.
Maybe he was the first clone. Maybe you were right earlier.
What code name did Boba take for himself when he infiltrated the Endurance?
I don't know this.
I'm going to go with...
Windy, Bashful, Solo, or Lucky?
Lucky.
No, that was right.
Lucky, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Who killed Boba's father?
Oh, we know.
We all know this.
It was Count Dooku.
Duh. No, he hired him.
It was Mace Windu.
A clone. If a clone killed Jango, that would be the biggest disgrace. It's like a clone of yourself kills you.
Yeah.
An inferior version of. Yeah, it was Mace Windu.
Boba was hired
and also, I heard Tamora Morrison would like Boba Fett to hunt down Mace Windu in the next season.
That would be rad.
If they brought him back.
Oh, that would be rad.
But I don't know. That doesn't feel like Boba's character now anymore. I don't think he really cares about revenge. I think he likes ruling over Tatooine.
He likes
and
having
just
a family, having
chilling
a
out. Yeah.
Boba was hired to track or capture the following.
Except the Millennium Falcon, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Asajj.
He was never set out to hunt Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that is true. Oh, fuck. We were wrong.
Oh, I was wrong.
Must have been Asajj.
Must have been Asajj, yeah.
Who originally claimed Boba Fett's armor after he escaped?
Although I will say, technically, he was never hired to track Luke.
No, but Luke happened to be on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, he was hired to track Han Solo.
Yeah.
And the Millennium Falcon.
Who originally claimed Boba Fett's armor after he escaped the Sarlacc?
The Jawas?
Yeah.
Which of these gadgets is missing from Fett's arsenal?
Knee pad rocket launcher.
No.
Jetpack / rocket launcher. Magnetically sealed chest plates. Flamethrower gauntlet.
He doesn't use the flamethrower in Boba Fett.
But he does use it in Mandalorian.
Oh, right, he does. Magnetically sealed chest
plates?
plates?
Yeah, it's that one, yeah. And number 10. This isn't really hard. What was the original purpose for the design that became Boba Fett's armor? Sith Lord, Stormtrooper, Rebel Disguise, Halloween. I think he was supposed to be like a super trooper.
He was supposed to be like a stormtrooper, yeah.
Like an elite.
Yeah, we got it.
So 9 correct.
We just got the one wrong because I was an idiot on that one question. But anyway, that was
got
fun.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
See if you can beat us.
Yeah, you might be able to, especially if
Not
you've
a
heard
hard
the
quiz.
answers already.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
We could have picked a harder. There's not that many Boba Fett quizzes. It's sad.
Yeah, we could have picked a generic Star Wars one, but we wanted
But that's
to be
no fun.
specifically about Boba Fett. Anyway, good show.
Jolly good show. Yeah. So go check out our Instagram if you like any of this. Give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating on Spotify, no matter how controversial you think it is. And check out our Linktree for everything else.
Yep. And
that's the episode.
that covers it, yeah.
That's our Boba Fett review. For the most part, we really liked it.
Yeah, it was worth my time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't watch new TV shows nowadays. This is the first new TV show I've watched.
I will say, I don't know if we'll probably won't do a review on it, but I would check out Peacemaker. John Cena.
I've heard it's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's James Gunn. It's a Suicide Squad like spinoff. But anyways, that's it with the episode. It's going on long enough. We will see you next week, and we're kind of a position now where we think we know what's coming out next week.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be a surprise. So
our schedule's all over the place, but
because we backed up some stuff.
You guys won't notice.
You will not notice. Don't even worry about it.
So it's every Friday.
Every Friday. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, yeah, have a good morning, have a good night, have a good day. Whatever. I don't care.
Gosh.
No, we care. But whatever.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Roll that outro. Jesus.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The Odd Drunk Podcast recommends that you follow their Instagram and join their Facebook group for more fun content. To view all of our current available streaming and social media platforms, visit our Linktree in the description below. If you enjoy the show, it would be appreciated if you leave us a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. Okay, Colton, you can roll the outro now.